Okay, let's now look at conveyancing problem number 5. This is on page 72 of the AAPL guide. Actually, it's on page 73. Sorry about that. Let me make that correction. So this is on page 73. And let's just read it together, and I'll show you what jumps out at me. So the first thing is that Adam owns a 50% of the minerals under Section 6. So I'm going to write Adam 50%. Okay. Adam then executes a document that, quote, this is key language now, grants an undivided 1/4 interest in my interest. And question number 4, the fact pattern was it was just a 1/4 interest. That's completely different interest than 1/4 interest in my interest. So that's red flag number 1. And then it is in the oil, gas, in, on, and under. Whenever I see in, on, and under, I know that it's a conveyance of a mineral interest and not a royalty interest. If it was a royalty interest, it would have said produced and saved. So let's look again. Adam owns 50%, and he's going to grant an undivided 1/4 interest to B, undivided 1/4 interest in my interest. So this means that, let's work B's interest first. B is going to get 1/4 times 50%. I'm sorry, I did that wrong. 1/4 times 1/2. So B is going to get 1 times 1 is 1, 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, B is going to end up with 1/8. Now A is entitled to 3/4 of this 50%. He gave 1/4 of the 50% to B. That leaves him with the remaining 3/4. 3/4 plus 1/4 is going to equal 1. So we're looking at 3/4 of 50%, 3/4 of 1/2. 3/4 goes to A, B gets the other quarter. Okay, that means A's interest is going to be 3 times 1 is 3, and 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, so what are the interests of the parties? Adam, does he have a royalty interest or a mineral interest? Well, it tells us right up front, this is a mineral interest. So he has a mineral interest, he has a 3/8 mineral interest. If we want to do the math on that, we would just go 3 divided by 8. That would give us a decimal of 0.375. So his interest would be a 0.375. Mineral interest. Okay. What about Baker? Is Baker getting a royalty interest or a mineral interest? Well, he was clearly conveyed a 1/4 interest in, on, and under. That tells us it is a mineral interest. So what does Baker end up with? Baker ends up with 1/4 of A's 1/2, or a 1/8 mineral interest. Or we know 1/8 calculates to a 0.125 mineral interest. Then it says, what if the document was entitled a royalty deed? Okay, it's saying I own an undivided 1/4 interest in my interest in the oil and gas. The body of the deed, it says in, on, and under, but the title says royalty deed. Well, in the law, the body of the language in the deed controls over the title of the deed. So if the interest says in, on, and under, that's going to take priority. That's going to trump whatever the royalty, whatever the title says. So is it a conveyance of a non-participating royalty interest? No. It's a conveyance of a mineral interest, even though the title of the deed might say royalty deed across the top. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. That is not the correct answer. Ignore the fact that the title of the instrument says royalty deed and go by the actual language that would show the actual intent of the parties. Okay, so that's question number 5 on page 72 on our conveyancing calculations. And stay tuned, and we'll cover number 6.